Hi, my name is Cicely-Belle.
Hi, Cicely.
Hello.
Love you!
My family is of the indigenous Wolof Tribe of Gambia, West Africa, and I'm grateful to be living here as a settler on Coast Salish lands. And I'm really grateful to have been asked here today by my indigenous friends and community members. It really is an honor to be asked to share some words and talk about some of the commonalities that exist between our communities. I am grateful to live on this land, but I wish I could be living on the land of my own ancestors, but that is what they do to us. They rob and they steal and they murder and they spill our blood on our own land. As Black Lives Matter, it is our honor and our privilege to stand in solidarity and our duty to work with indigenous communities. Oftentimes people ask, who has it worse, Black or indigenous people? But you know what this is? This is white supremacy trying to create a wedge between our communities. The very idea of the question acknowledges the way that our communities have been systematically and institutionally robbed, pillaged, enslaved, and colonized by white people. This question serves to position whiteness between us, to place a wedge where we must instead connect and build and foster community together. I feel instead there is an innate sense of connection and commonality between our communities. Through intergenerational trauma and hardship, we find ourselves here now experiencing hand-me-down pain of our ancestors. Yet also their resilience, their power, and their love burns within us like nothing else. It gives us strength on days like today. I once wrote a poem that asked, do Black mothers have sons knowing they will bury them? Do you plan a baby's funeral at the announcement of its birth? Does a gender reveal determine the color of your mourning? I cried writing it, thinking about the pain and the injustice. I felt the same hearing of Tina Fontaine's story and of those countless other missing and murdered Indigenous women across colonially named Canada. How do you raise and support children in a world where their survival is at the hands of the unforgiving, uncaring, and violent white men? Ask yourself, what really is the difference between Cormier and Trudeau? They describe Tina as an at-risk youth. They never say it is colonialism, racism, anti-indigeneity, misogyny, classism, and failing systems that kids like Tina are at risk of. Instead, they place the blame on communities that have been violently stripped of self-determination, of human rights, and of justice.
Shame!
They take our children and then tell us we didn't raise them right.
Shame!
When really, with the strength and power of our ancestors, the courage and bravery of our warriors, and the love and kindness of our mothers, we gave them everything that the systems failed to. White parents wake up in the morning needing only to ensure that the crusts have been cut off their kids' peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But Black and Indigenous parents must actively and consistently build protective walls around their children. Make sure they don't talk to cops, or wear hoodies to the mall, or play with toy guns in parks, or trespass on farmland, or hang out in groups, or drive, or dance, or walk, or shop. It's not the families of Tina, or Colton, or Tamir, or Trayvon that didn't build good enough walls. It's that systems of oppression, of violence, of colonialism, aka the government, were created in the exact way that white men have bulldozers stronger than any brick and mortar we will ever be able to afford. This is the injustice on colonial land. Thank you.
It's through that unity against the colonial system that we rise, and we rise victorious. And with the last few speakers, what strikes me is that we shouldn't have to be here. How many times have we had to be here? We've had to come here twice in 1 month. It's disgusting. and the headlines don't change, the government doesn't change, this system is not broken. It was designed this way. Why are we going to a court system that banned our own cultural practices for justice, that tells Indigenous people they can't be on the jury, yet will allow white people to judge other white people? It makes no sense.